Headmaster. Is that me?
Good morning, everyone. Get a louder good morning. Good morning. And welcome all to Cushing Academy's, and I'm going to say it, beautiful day, because it's not raining, beautiful 139th commencement. On this 24th day of May 2014, welcome faculty, staff, alumni, parents, family, and friends. Welcome to the classes of 2015, 16, and 17. Welcome and thank you to Mr. Dick Harrington and our Board of Trustees for their outstanding leadership of our Academy. And most importantly, welcome and congratulations to this renowned group of penguins seated before us all today, the class of 2014. Thank you everyone for joining us in Ashburnham today to celebrate our seniors and all we have accomplished together. And thank you to the many who played a role in making today possible, from the preparation of the ceremony, the tent, gorgeous Cushing grounds, food, and the hundreds of other moving pieces. Thank you to everyone. And a last thanks will come from you, the seniors, to the family and friends who are here to commemorate your special day. So please stand, seniors. Please stand and thank your family and friends. I have to say that this is one of the great honors of my life to be able to address this gathering. That said, I know that you're less excited to hear from me than you are to listen to our amazing commencement speaker, a distinguished alumna from the class of 2006, Meghan Duggan. So without delay, to begin my prepared remarks. In preparing, I was actually in New York visiting alumni and parents not too long ago, sitting in the New York Public Library amidst books, periodicals, lots of print materials, and I did a Google search instead of browsing the shelves. And I Googled greatest graduation speeches ever given. I read the now famous 2005 commencement address by Steve Jobs at Stanford, the speech in which, knowing he was dying of cancer, he said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." While reading the transcript of the 2009 commencement address given by Ellen DeGeneres at Tulane University, I laughed quite a bit. DeGeneres said, "Follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost. And you see a path, then by all means you should follow that." Though these addresses inspired me to get writing, right, as many of you have done, sitting with that blank computer screen, inspired me to get writing, my job here is simply to welcome you and present to you the class of 2014. This Cushing class is a special one for me, it goes without saying, and I want to do them, this amazing collection of people, justice. So my thoughts this morning are a weave of many stories, especially student stories that give life to what we all know as a powerfully unique and foundational Cushing experience. Just over a year ago, when my wife Dina, our children, and I were introduced in Cowell Chapel to the entire Cushing community, I said that, quote, never when I began my first class as a teacher, a class studying The Great Gatsby, did I envision standing here before you today. I also shared a little about my teaching of English for 20 years, and that in being an English teacher, my students and I often discussed what is known as Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman is a German word meaning formation or coming-of-age novel. And it is this idea, coming of age, that returns to my mind as I complete my first year, and you, the class of 2014, simultaneously completes one chapter and commences another. The coming-of-age novel is a literary genre that focuses on the psychological and moral growth of the protagonist from youth to adulthood, and in which character change is thus central. As I said a year ago, I believe that coming of age is always ongoing. It is not reserved for some easily marked transition from childhood to adulthood. While today is an important marker in your coming of age, this hasn't been and will not be your only coming of age moment. Instead, every one of us is and should be coming of age much of the time. This is lifelong learning. Each of you was coming of age last September when we began our annual journey right here on this common. Each of us has, I hope, come of age in countless ways this year. And Cushing is continually coming of age as a living, learning, and growing institution. In 149 years of history, once Thomas Parkman Cushing founded our academy, Cushing has always had a past, present, and future. As is said at graduations all over the world, each ending is a beginning. We should never be finished products. The academy has always been fertile ground for growing lifelong learners determined to change for the better. It goes without saying that this graduating class, as I said, is special because it's my first at Cushing, because we have come of age together this year. We have woven our individual experiences into a collective one, the 2014 chapter in our shared Cushing story. This day is about you students here before us. Again, we began on September 8th here on the Common in a beginning ceremony, and this is an ending and beginning ceremony, a very important one. We have symbolically and quite literally come full circle. In our explorations and in that coming full circle, I'll share some stories I've gathered from my own experience and other faculty about all of you. I reached out to faculty and staff and asked them to highlight some of the stories that they will forever remember about this Cushing class of 2014. And while I wish I were able to recount many more of the narratives I received, the others I've experienced and have in my mind, than I now have time for, I trust that all of us will hear some of these stories and place ourselves in them as the protagonist. Our experiences are simultaneously unique and shared. So here are some snapshots of the many tremendous details about you seniors and all that you've learned and accomplished, the ways in which you are amazing. In a personal essay written for a Cushing class, one senior wrote the following: "Come on, jump," they yelled. "The water's great." Easier said than done, I whispered to myself. Like any other challenge, this step was critical. Well, actually, it was not that hard once I made the decision. Maybe my heart skipped a beat as I inched out onto the cliff's edge. But when my eyes opened again, I saw a beautiful underwater world, 1,000,000 times more gorgeous than I imagined. I found myself swimming calmly in a natural aquarium of starfish and octopi. Had I retreated, I could never have tasted the essence of victory, crossing a boundary. A daring heart might not bring me everything I desire, but I certainly felt the pure joy and the emotional and visual reward of taking a leap of faith. Another senior and group of driven peers, inspired by Free the Children and Spencer West, who spoke to us in Cowell from his wheelchair, organized and achieved the color dance and run and raised $10,000 to build a school in Kenya. Active in metalsmithing, where her work exemplifies her approach, this senior made a pendant inspired by the solar system with many intricate details. The soldering was challenging, yet she was tenacious and succeeded fully in the end. She enjoys projects that are unusually complex. You seniors either participated in or cheered on our field hockey and baseball teams in championship games, cheered on our basketball team winning its consecutive New England title, and just as importantly, our Cushing fans received the accolade as best in New England. Some seniors volunteered your free periods to lead our tour guide program. They shared personal experiences with prospective families and proudly represented their school. Even in the summer months, day student tour guides gave more of their time to bring great families to Cushing. Another faculty member wrote the following: "Silence is a great source of strength, according to Lao Tzu, and this senior is a living testament to this ancient Chinese aphorism. He is a humble and honest boy who is quiet on the surface. However, there is much simmering beneath his calm countenance. He is a problem solver with an intense passion for math and physics. He is both respectful and respected. This reserved, whisper-quiet young man's work at Cushing has been exceptional. You seniors led a tremendous production of The Little Shop of Horrors, a number of jazz, dance, choral, and chamber ensemble performances, leaving a tremendous legacy for up-and-coming classes of performing artists. Another faculty member sent me the following. Over the summer, this senior called me to ask about a hockey tournament. He then asked what I was up to, and I told him I was moving into another campus house the next day. So, he said that his brother and he would both come to Ashburnham to help. They came up without me asking. Then, after helping me move all day, as they were getting ready to leave, Catalina Reynoso stopped by to pick up a big dresser. It wouldn't fit into her car, so this senior and his brother put it in their Suburban and drove it to Fitchburg for Catalina without hesitation. He did not have to do any of this. I didn't ask him to, just a great kid. Think of the many late-night conversations all of you had in dormitories, right? Or on these Adirondack chairs around campus. I like the purple chair season allusion made the other night, right? The amazing conversations you had with your peers. Another faculty member wrote, I've always been impressed by this student and students like this student who excel academically with an extremely challenging course load while also making outstanding contributions to the sports he practices diligently every afternoon, while also finding countless hours to hone his piano skills, making him one of the best performers in the school. This is highly unusual. His ability, both technically and socially, to cross these boundaries fosters mutual respect and understanding and ties our community together. A four-year senior day student has grown not only in size but also in maturity. As a ninth grader, he was shy and unsure. He didn't finish his first cross-country race. But this year, he was a strong contributor. And a teammate of his finished 7th in the World Triathlon Championships. This senior got a 5 on the AP English Language exam and was invited to attend a summer program at Bard, right? For the, quote, for the accomplished student for whom Bard is a top choice. As a result, he's attending Bard. He's also done the Breadloaf Young Writers Workshop at Middlebury, and faculty member wrote, we'll be reading his published novels and poetry in the future. Another faculty member who lost a parent this year wrote the following to me. When I lost a parent this year, one of my senior students who lost his mother said to me, this may sound awkward coming from a person my age, but I lost my mom last year. And if you want to talk, I'm here. Words cannot express how great that made me feel, the faculty member said. This senior, after taking 2 math courses with me, achieved an A- last term, and she said to me, you were right, I knew I could do it. I just had to want to do it. Another faculty member wrote about several of her recent conversations with students. One girl talked about feeling and allowing herself to be part of something for the first time, and realizing that in her dorm mates she had made her first real friends. Another talked about how grateful she was to have been given the chance to live with such a diverse group of girls. Another reflected on how much a faculty member had helped her realize her potential as a student, and this next was in a parenthetical, and although she will never admit it to her parents, how they made the right decision in forcing her to come to Cushing. Lastly, one more faculty member wrote about all of you. This is a warm and loyal class. They look out for and care deeply for one another. I've seen over and over this year seniors helping others through personal problems and offering a safe place to vent, to laugh, cry, and talk. They've grown up together. They are all kids trying to discover the capacity of their intellect, humor, and soul. This is going to be a tough group to say goodbye to. How great are these stories? And I have so many more I could share. Seated before us today are 130 unique individuals who have woven their own stories into a powerfully diverse and communal Cushing story. And they've not only written the narrative of the class of 2014, but also contributed to the larger 149-year history of the school of which we're all a part. And if these stories I've shared with you today are in the least way predictive of what these graduates will accomplish in life and give to the world beyond, we will have so much to celebrate in reunions to come. Very little that is worth much in life is simple or easy, right? A lesson we talk about all the time here. And Cushing, its amazing faculty, staff, have undoubtedly prepared you for the challenge and complexity that you will meet with authenticity, curiosity, grit, adaptability, humor, and above all, I hope, humility. The challenge and complexity that you will fully engage and turn into success. In your everlasting coming of age, come to know yourself. Fully engage and know the many diverse communities around you. And with the knowledge and experience you possess now and deepen throughout your life, take action. Act in the service of others and in service of something greater than yourself. Your teachers, mentors, family, and friends know that your individual power will enhance the greater good of communities, small and large. Your truest measure of success will be the positive impact you have on other people. Historian David McCullough in 2012, in his commencement address at Wellesley High, the great and curious truth of human experience is that selflessness is the best thing you can do for yourself. Actor Bradley Whitford, in his 2004 commencement address, and I had to give a shout out, at the University of Wisconsin said, "Take action. Every story you've ever connected with, every leader you've ever admired, every puny little thing that you've ever accomplished is the result of taking action. You have a choice. You can either be a passive victim of circumstance or you can be the active hero of your own life." And then I added to that quotation, "Then you can and will be the active hero of others' lives." One final note from me for the class of 2014, stay connected to Cushing. You have, during your time with us here, contributed so much to our story. And you have so much to offer, not only the world beyond, but also back on this Cushing campus throughout your lives. A tremendous legacy of Cushing students have come before you, and a great number of future graduates will experience an even better Cushing because of your continued connection back to this, your school. Commencement welcomes, such as the one I'm just wrapping up, as cliche as it is, very rarely, if ever, is highly memorable. No matter what I say, you're going to remember more from our commencement speaker, more about your classmates, your family, and your smiles, your laughter, the pictures you'll take, the video. So before we proceed, I'd like to create a memory more lasting than the thoughts I've shared. I'd like you to take a moment, and this is everyone who can hear me. I'd like you to take a moment and with an unforgettable smile, look around. I'm going to force you guys to lead. Look around, and you can't all look at me. You're not allowed to look at me. Look around, and not just at the people you came here with. It's going to be really awkward, families, initially, but turn around. And then what I'd like you to do is smile. Oh, hold on. I'd like you to shake hands, hug, do whatever you want. Make one last connection. All right, good lead, good lead. Okay, thank you. It's the frustrated teacher and coach. So now I'd like to present some special diplomas. I'd like to present diplomas to Mrs. Sylvia Adasco Lilienthal, class of 1940, and Richard J. Henry. First, it's a great pleasure to award diplomas to these two very special individuals. First, I invite Mrs. Sylvia Lilienthal to join me on stage, accompanied by Trustee and Board Vice President Jeremy Duffy. Sylvia Dasco Lilienthal is a proud member of the class of 1940. After arriving on campus from the North Shore of Boston in 1936, Sylvia spent a very successful and enjoyable 4 years at Cushing. When asked about her favorite Cushing moments, she said that they include meeting her husband and the drama program in which she played the lead role in Anne of Green Gables. She also remembers very fondly the hours of manners instruction that she attended every Saturday morning. We were talking about reinstituting that. Something that she said has stayed with her throughout her life. When I had the pleasure of meeting Sylvia, she told me about her experiences as a student, including an unexpected turn of events at the end of her senior year. So you seniors, imagine this. It's night before your prom, and you're to graduate the very next day. Then imagine what it would be like to be told that night that you will not graduate because you are missing a gym credit. That is the scenario that Sylvia faced, and consequently, she did not receive her Cushing diploma in 1940 and did not march with her class. Sylvia continued on to Endicott College, then Endicott Junior College as planned, graduating in 1942 with a major in fashion merchandising, a perfect career for someone who had been voted best dressed. She went on to work in sales at Adasco's, her family chain of stores in Salem, Massachusetts. Sylvia and her husband raised a beautiful family of 2 sons and a daughter, and after taking a few years off to care for her children, she worked as a party planner and in the designer section of Filene's department store, a great Boston institution. As I wrote to Sylvia inviting her to be with us today, quote, "Upon reviewing your 1940 transcript, it is clear that your only missing credit is a physical education class. While I certainly consider exercise and fitness important parts of the boarding school experience, I'm confident that your many walks throughout the school on the hill more than made up for any missed credits." Sylvia, 74 years later, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's a privilege to bestow upon you your Cushing diploma. She just said, "I made it, Headmaster Quimby." I'd now like to ask Rich Henry to join me on stage. As many of you know, Rich is retiring this year after 33 years of faithful service to this school. It gives me great pleasure to now recognize Rich as part of the great class of 2014. He's one of yours now. Richard J. Henry, your roles at Cushing over 33 years have been numerous. Esteemed teacher, beloved dorm parent with Jill, inspiring coach, wise dean of college counseling, director of the summer session, dean of faculty, summer maintenance crew member, director of academic support, and inspiring admissions road warrior. You've been a mentor to your students and to your colleagues, and your dedication has known no bounds. With Jill and your children, Kristen, class of '87, and Matt, class of '91, you made Cushing your home, and you welcomed countless students and members of the faculty as they made it their home. I will never forget the welcome Rich gave me and my family when we arrived. For all this and much more, we salute you and offer our deep gratitude. Having earned the respect and admiration of all, your dedication and devotion to the Cushing community make it only fitting that you be forever recognized as an honorary alumnus of the class of 2014. And Rich just said he graduated 50 years ago from high school. But the diploma reads, this diploma is awarded to Richard James Henry in grateful recognition of 33 years of service and acknowledgement of your dedication to students and colleagues in testimony whereof witness our signatures this 24th day of May 2014. It's now an additionally great pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. The ideal Cushing girl for the class of 2006, Meghan Duggan. It's going to keep going, isn't it? I want to warmly welcome Meghan's parents, Mary and Bob Duggan, who are with us today. It is no exaggeration to say that Meghan has captured the hearts of all who have watched her play ice hockey on the international stage. As 2014 Olympic team captain and Olympic silver medalist in 2010 and 14, as well as a medalist in other world championships, her leadership, determination, and poise have earned her the respect and admiration of all. I speak for the entire Cushing family when I say, without boasting, we knew all this about Meghan well before the rest of the world did. Meghan's leadership shined early on when she was elected president of her freshman class here, an honor that would continue each year. She sought and achieved excellence in the classroom and in every endeavor. In her freshman year, she was awarded the Class of 1888 prize for the highest academic average in her class. For 3 years in a row, she received the Betty Davis Award for her class, honoring her outstanding contributions in 3 seasons of competitive athletics. Meghan's contributions to our community were far-reaching, and it is telling that I have mentioned just some of the awards she earned. After graduation, Meghan joined best friend and class of 2005 alumna Erica Lawler at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where they helped bring home multiple Division I national championships for the Badgers. Following their achievements at the 2010 Olympics, we bestowed upon Erica and Meghan the truly deserved Cushing Academy Leadership Award. Meghan is also a recipient of the Patty Katzmeyer Award, which recognizes the top player in NCAA Division I women's ice hockey. Meghan has played for 2 seasons with the Boston Blades. Having earned a degree in biology from Wisconsin, she has expressed interest when her hockey career is completed in becoming a pediatrician, right? How lucky would those patients be? But we just had a conversation in my office about the next steps for her and all of the amazing things she's accomplished, experienced, and just really the world is wide open. So many doors open to her. And I came away, this was my first conversation with her, absolutely amazed and knowing that whatever she chooses, she's going to be exceptional at it. Had there been an opportunity for faculty members to join us in this introduction, there would have been countless wonderful stories, right? The many hugs she gave back to faculty today as we walked campus getting ready to enter the tent. I can sum up the esteem and affection in which the faculty hold for Meghan by quoting the college recommendation Dr. Carlisle wrote on her behalf. Meghan's determination and dedication to all she is involved with are evident at every level. She is a fierce and staunch friend. She has a bottomless reservoir of energy and enthusiasm, and her laughter is delightfully infectious. Join me in welcoming Cushing Class of 2006, Meghan Duggan.
I do just want to point out that to all the New York Yankees fans in here, Headmaster Torino actually got me back for my joke on the Red Sox pitcher when I Went out there on the mound and threw out the first pitch. I walked in his office this morning and he had a photoshopped picture of me throwing out the first pitch on the mound at Fenway, only I was in a Yankees jersey. So, and I followed up by signing it for him, and I wrote, "Go Yankees?" ? So, anyways. Students, faculty and staff, trustees, parents, relatives, friends, and everyone else lucky enough to be here today, good morning and congratulations to the class of 2014. Headmaster Trino contacted me back in January and asked me to give today's commencement address. Seeing as I proudly tell everyone I come in contact with that this place changed my life, I could not have been more honored by this invitation. I want to thank him and all of Cushing for asking me to be here, celebrating such an important milestone in the lives of all you seniors. Of course, I initially thought to myself, what are those high school students going to want to hear from me? Being a four-year senior myself, I sat through 4 underclass award ceremonies and 4 graduations here under this very same tent on the Common. I would like to consider myself a very attentive individual when it comes to events such as this, but as most of you probably are right now, I made sure I was sitting next to or around my closest friends for whispering purposes. With that being said, I also know that some of you underclassmen are sitting here thinking about how the seniors get to leave today and you all still have exams next week. And some of you seniors might be daydreaming about throwing jeans on and lighting a celebratory cigar on campus without Mr. Connors or Mr. Muchachi reprimanding you. Or maybe all of you students are trying to figure out how and when you can snap your next selfie. So again, what do you as students want to hear from me? Standing up here today, I'm not a founder and CEO of a major company. I'm not an author of a best-selling novel or a host of a TV show. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, and I haven't yet come up with that billion-dollar idea that will change the world. Yet. Technically, right now, I play ice hockey for a living. I did, however, sit right where you are sitting only 8 years ago. In September of '02, I packed up my parents' car in Danvers and I drove here with my mom and dad out to Ashburnham. I was so nervous I could barely speak or breathe. I'm not kidding when I tell you I was probably more nervous that day than I have been to play for any of the gold medals I've ever played for in my hockey career. I'm not sure if my nerves were coming from the obvious, moving away to boarding school when I was only 14, or from thinking about running Coach Horgan's timed mile during soccer preseason. When we pulled onto campus, we made it just about to Low Hall, and I told my dad urgently that he needed to stop the car. I immediately opened the back seat, and I threw up all over the sidewalk. Quite the first impression I made, I think. Instantly, my parents thought they were making a huge mistake. I had always been an independent kid, but maybe this time around, it was just going to be too much for me. Over the next few days, being exhausted from preseason, anxious about who my roommate would be, and having my room phone shut off every night at 8 was not a great combination for me. And you're probably all laughing, thinking, why didn't I just pull my cell phone and text under the desk at study hall or something like that? I can't actually imagine how the teachers and the proctors monitor study hall. Hats off to you guys. But no, my room phone and the internet shut off. Anyways, about a week into classes starting that year, I called my parents and I told them I was going to run for freshman class president. My mom has since told me that as soon as I made that phone call, she knew I was going to be just fine. And so it began. In the 4 years to follow, I raced to the top of Mount Monadnock 4 times on Mountain Day. I dressed up one day only in clothes from the give and take boxes in Alumni and Sawyer. I kissed an upperclassman hockey guy at the Halloween dance in the gym. I cried in Suze's office when I couldn't meet a deadline for one of her papers assigned. I sang Seasons of Love and other songs in the winter chorus concert with Miss Pressman, now Miss Leftcourt. I remember being emotional every year during the end of the year all-school handshake, saying bye to all my favorite seniors. I snuck out of my room countless times after lights out, only to be caught and sent back by Miss Reynoso. I volunteered for Dana-Farber at the Boston Marathon and in lots of different locations for Tony Fisher Day. I captured a couple E.G. Watkins championships with Coach Kennedy and the hockey team and was part of an undefeated lacrosse season in 2006 under the direction of Miss Roller and Miss Devon. I launched rockets in Mr. Kubblebeck's physics class and dissected cats in Mr. Wenning's AP Anatomy and Physiology class. I dove headfirst down the hockey hill in the mud in my purple and grays when it was pouring rain out one spring afternoon. I sword fought Dr. Carey as part of my Lord of the Rings class final exam. And I stole an entire tray of cookies from the dining hall one time and brought them to the dorm with my notorious partners in crime. In my 4 years at Cushing, I met people and had experiences that changed my life. I grew tremendously as a kid and learned a little bit more about who I was, but also who I wanted to be. In the 8 years since I graduated from here, I have certainly learned a lot more about myself, and I credit my time at Cushing for much of that growth. It's almost hard for you all to see it now, but the values instilled in you by Cushing and the experiences you've had here have prepared you for the many challenges that lie ahead. And trust me when I say the challenges will come. No one's road to success is easy. If you ever do meet that person to whom fame, fortune, success, and glory all come easy, you probably won't like that person very much. You're all about to embark on a new journey in your life, and I'm sure many of you have aspirations to be incredible at whatever it is that you choose, and you will be. I'm here to share with you and remind you that it's okay during that journey to be uncomfortable, to hit rock bottom, or to fail. Nearly all of the people you see on TV, or the ones you hear about and deem successful, have lived through the dark days at one point along their journey. What has made them successful is how they chose to respond to those dark days. A great teacher here at Cushing once told a group of us, sometimes you need to take one step back before you can take 2 steps forward. I always kept his words in mind, but I never really understood them until I lived through the dark days, literally. In the fall of 2011, my hockey career seemed to be on the rise. I had won 3 national championships and the Patty Kazmaier Award at Wisconsin, 3 world championships with Team USA, and captured a silver medal at my first Olympic Games in Vancouver. I was finishing up my degree in Madison and training full-time for the 2014 Olympics in Sochi. And by full-time, I mean multiple times a day, 7 days a week, without ever taking a single day completely off for 4 straight months. I was obsessed. Obsessed with hockey. Everything I did, everything I ate, all of my interactions and conversations were filled in with the next time I could get my training in. I thought back then that I was putting myself in a position to be everything I wanted to be. The best athlete, the most fit, the fastest, the strongest. I had a lot to learn. With the mindset I had at that point, nothing could have been worse than being 100% sidelined from hockey and training with an injury that no one could see, no one could explain, and no one could provide a timeline for. Of course, that's exactly what happened. I suffered a major blow to the back of the head in a training camp around Christmas time that year. I had had quite a few minor concussions in my college career, but nothing like this. It took my feet right out from under me. I was miserable. I moved back into my parents' house, and I lived in a dark room for the first 4 months of the injury. I had migraines. I couldn't sleep. I could barely eat. I didn't leave the house. I barely talked to anyone except my parents because interactions with others were too difficult for my brain to engage in. I was nauseous, anxious, depressed, angry, and the list goes on and on. The symptoms and irritability continued for another 8 to 9 months, over a year in total. People began to ask me, does it scare you that you think you may never play again, Megs? And my initial thought was, of course it does. But it scares me more that I feel like I may never have my life back. This was my rock bottom. For 13 months, I struggled. For 13 months, I was uncomfortable. For 13 months, I thought to myself, why is this happening and when is it going to be over? Sometimes you need to take 1 step back before you can take 2 steps forward. Those 13 months taught me more about myself than I had ever known before. I was struggling to the point where I felt like I wanted to give up on everything, but I didn't. I wrapped my head around the fact that I was probably stopped dead in my tracks by this injury so that I could learn something. And once I opened my mind, eyes, and ears to the world and what I was supposed to learn, it gave me hope. I learned 3 major things through this challenge that I want to share with you, and I want you guys to take with you as you move forward from today. The first one, be mindful of where you are in any given minute. I was on the fast track to my own hockey success. I forgot to be present. If you're constantly in a rush, there is a very good chance you're going to miss out on something that is in the now. You don't always have to know exactly where you are going or what the next step is. Don't be afraid to listen to yourself sometimes when your mind tells you you are exactly where you need to be right now. The second one, take action and knock on doors, but be patient when you need to be. I have never in my life been the most patient person, nor will I ever be. But I would like to consider myself to be growing towards having more patience. When I was first injured, there wasn't a friend, family member, doctor, mentor, or coach who I listened to when they told me to slow down and just be patient. I came to realize that my lack of patience at that time wasn't making anything better. My advice to you is go after what you want. Train, work hard, study, knock on doors. But when those compromising moments do come, and it is in your best interest to be patient, be patient. The third one, the people you are surrounded by every single day, no matter what you do, matter. I would consider myself a people person, and before my injury, I got so caught up in my own passions and my own training that I wasn't paying attention to what other people in my life were passionate about. As you move on from Cushing, you're going to meet so many more people of different ages, races, backgrounds, and people with aspirations that are far different than yours. I challenge you to listen to them and let yourself be inspired by what they are passionate about. I recovered fully from my injury in January of 2013 and led my team that April to a World Championship gold medal. Soon after, I was chosen to lead the team as our captain at this most recent Olympic Games in Russia. Hitting rock bottom and learning what I needed to learn about myself made me a better person, a better teammate, a more coachable athlete, and a more successful leader. To all of you graduating seniors, whose names have already been engraved in the bricks lining the walkway to the main building, congratulations. You guys are joining a world-class group of Cushing alumni, if I do say so myself, and you are entering a new and exciting chapter in your life. College is tough, and sometimes life just isn't fair. Hard situations surface, and disappointment stings. When you are faced with a challenge and you want to give up, open your mind, eyes, and ears. Let yourself learn from that challenge, and you'll get through it, and you'll be even better on the other side. Thank you again for allowing me to be part of this very special day within the Cushing community, and congratulations to the class of 2014.
Thank you, Meghan. To express our gratitude for the gift of your commencement address, we have had a Cushing chair made with a commemorative plaque, and I won't give it to you now here on stage to have you carried off, but thank you. Many seniors were among the award recipients honored at yesterday's ceremony, and their names are printed in your program. I, along with Mr. Richard Harrington, President of the Board of Trustees, will now present the senior awards that are reserved each year for presentation at the graduation ceremony. Before we begin, I'd like to announce a few points of order for seniors. First, if your name's called, please come up to the platform on the stairs to your left, as Dr. Carlisle pointed out yesterday, and exit via the stairs on the right, on your right. Families, when your graduate is called to receive an award or diploma, a photograph will be taken by a professional photographer who you can get in contact, or who will be in contact with you. And finally, because we're streaming live all over the world, if you leave your seat to take photographs, which you're obviously most welcome to do, just please quickly return so as not to obstruct sight lines. And now for the 2014 graduation awards. Some of today's awards are in the form of Kiva cards, as mentioned yesterday. Kiva is a nonprofit organization that connects lenders to borrowers around the world who are seeking business loans to lift them out of poverty. Our students will have the opportunity to choose the loan project that they wish to fund. Then, as they are repaid, they can repeat the process again and again. In awarding Kiva cards, we continue to encourage students to make a difference, to be the change they want to see in the world. The Mann Family Award for Excellence in the Arts is being given this year for the first time and will hereafter be given annually. This award was established by Tom and Ellen Mann in honor of the faculty who taught, encouraged, and inspired their son, Creighton, a member of Cushing's class of 2012. The award is given to a student with passion and talent in the visual arts, who is enrolled in both visual arts and the academic support program, is engaged creatively in the Cushing community, is a leader within a subsector of Cushing Academy, and has worked to overcome obstacles during his or her time at Cushing. The Mann Family Award for Excellence in the Arts is being given this year to Christine Bonetti. The Deborah Evans Class of 1974 Award is given in memory of a young man whose dedication to life was limitless, whose spirit brightened every facet of our school, whose warmth and concern touched everyone, and whose presence and vitality have become a cherished part of our academy. She gave to her school the best of herself. This year, the recipient of this award is Keely Frost. The Holden Class of 1888 prizes are given in honor of William and Eliza Holden, both of whom truly exemplified the characteristics of loyalty and friendliness. We have three deserving recipients for this honorable prize. Please let me read all three names: Maria Reyes Lopez, Mariah Weintraub, and George Peters. The Pliny A. Boyd Class of 1894 prizes are given to the girl and boy who have demonstrated the best spirit of general helpfulness and have had the best citizenship record during the current school year. The very worthy recipients this year are, two names, Stephanie Martin and Akeem Somombu Mpofu. The Senator Marcus A. Coolidge Award was established to honor Senator Coolidge's leadership as Mayor of Fitchburg, a United States Senator, and as a trustee and board president of Cushing for 28 years. This award is presented annually to the president of the Academy's student government to highlight the importance of leadership in politics and government as exemplified by the senator's career. This year, the recipient is Maxwell Grafton. The Eaton Class of 1900 and Dunn Class of 1899 prizes. The Eaton and Dunn families are synonymous with service to this academy. as exemplified by Alice Eaton Dunn and Frederick J. Dunn, both of the class of 1899, as well as Lillian Eaton, class of 1900. Mr. Dunn was a longtime trustee and board president, and Miss Eaton taught at Cushing for 30 years. This award goes to that girl and that boy who have rendered the finest service to the Academy during the current academic year. The recipients this year are Michelle Tierney and Richard Boyd. I'd like to ask Mr. Richard Harrington, President of the Board, to join me to present awards to the Ideal Cushing Girl and the Ideal Cushing Boy.
Thank you, Chris. Just before I give the awards out, I want to, on behalf of the trustees, I want to congratulate the class of 2014. I want to congratulate their parents and friends who are here today and who cannot make it here today for supporting you along the ride, and also the faculty who played an integral role of you getting here. So I'd like to congratulate you all. Thank you very much. Now, the Pliny A. Board 1894 Award is given to the girl who demonstrated the highest character and ideals, and through them has exerted the greatest influence. The recipient of this award is known as the Ideal Cushing Girl. She has earned the greatest level of respect from her fellow students and faculty alike. By vote of the faculty, the Ideal Cushing Girl for 2014 is Gabrielle Dutil. The Webster Moulton 1944 Award is given in memory of a boy who greatly loved this school. Though stricken with illness while a student at Cushing, he set an example of courage and cheerfulness. A capable student and athlete, he found joy in helping others and in participating in the school, in the activities of our school. The award goes to the boy who most nearly emulates the standards of character, scholarship, and general promise set by Webster Moulton. By vote of the faculty, the Ideal Cushing Boy for 2014 is Bob Zen.
The Alumni Salutatorian Award. The Salutatorian has the honor of having attained the second highest cumulative average in the graduating class. The class of 2014 Salutatorian is Chinjae Bob Zun. The Josephine Vinot Cook 1933 Valedictorian Award. The honor of leading one's class academically is a rare distinction. It's an honor to be forever worn. The honor of leading the class of 2014 this year has been earned by Danny Wong. At this time, I invite the valedictorian of the class of 2014, Danny Wong, to give her valedictorian address.
Members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Torino, class of 2014, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Danny Wan, and I was born and raised in Beijing. When I applied to Cushing 3 years ago, I read the mission statement. We offer a demanding college prep curriculum, teach skills that build confidence, and instill values that endure. However, at that time, I didn't know what it meant or how it was ever going to connect to my life. Attending Cushing was like a dream come true. For the first time in my life, I had almost everything I'd ever hoped for. Freedom to do anything I like, travel without my parents, and a credit card. I was so excited. I thought studying at Cushing would be the beginning of a life of leisure. However, as the months of my sophomore year passed, I increasingly felt that I lacked a goal. Although I wasn't sure what my goal was, I just knew that I had to go after something. I realized that my excitement was a sign of immaturity, because in the pursuit of one's goal, worry and stress are inevitable. Certainly, we've all taken some hard classes, and we all had times when we wanted to give up. Sadly, our teachers pushed us even harder. The fall of my junior year was like that. The massive amounts of homework and pressure took a heavy toll on me, on all of us. Thankfully, our teachers also encouraged us. For those who have taken the class I'm referring to, you will recognize the following familiar line. It's okay, you will be fine. If we refuse to turn in our quiz, the teacher will grab it from our hands and deliver his other customary line. No worries, guys. We will have another one tomorrow. Well, great. Were those words supposed to make me feel happy? But if it were not for experience like those, we would never be able to see what we could do by pushing ourselves to the limit. Although my teacher's word may seem straight, they really helped me. In fact, during my hardest time, I told myself every day not to give up and that tomorrow everything would be fine. You may think that at Cushing, tomorrow is the same as today and yesterday. We wake up and go to breakfast, we head to classes and afternoon activities. We eat dinner and we have some free time to hang out with our friends before we prepare for study hall. Then we go to sleep. And tomorrow, the routine starts all over again. I'm sure the daily schedule just ran through your head like a movie clip. Yet, with each day comes something that cheers you up, something that upsets you, or something that is so special or important that you will never forget it. You see, something different happens in each of our lives every day. In Cushing's diverse environment, we not only learn from our own experience, but also from those of everyone else sitting next to us. Looking back, I realized that Cushing mission statement is the most precise articulation of what I, and I assume all of us, wanted to achieve. To grow intellectually and socially, to be more confident, and never give up trying. To our teachers, thank you for the encouragement that empowered us to pursue our goals. Thanks also for your tolerance of our mistakes that were important for our growth. Thank you for the free time you sacrificed to help us with non-academic problems. Thanks to our dorm parents for making sure that we got to bed on time, and for giving us the extra incentive in the form of early lights out not to stay up late, watching late night shows and movies. Thanks to our art teachers and coaches who introduced us to things that we love to do so that we can let go of our stress. thanks to housekeeping and maintenance staff, who work so hard to make our campus such a beautiful place to study and live. Above all, thank you for the smiles and friendly greetings. Last but not least, I would like to thank my mom and dad for trusting me to study and live 12 time zones away from home. Because of them, I didn't give up. And because my parents are not here today and are watching the live video stream, I will speak to them directly. 爸爸妈妈，谢谢你们在背后鼓励我、支持我，我永远爱你们。Sorry, that's just a Chinese way of. And now, we are about to graduate. There are so many things that we will miss. Friendships, teachers, Cushing Olympics, Headmaster's holidays, and double cheese grilled chicken calzones from Village. And there are things that we'll no longer need to do. Lights out, mandatory check-ins, study hall, and weekend permission. But now, our time to leave has come. We're ready to commence the next part of our lives. Wherever you go, remember how hard you worked, how much you grew, how ready you are for the next step, and how proud you are to be a Cushing Penguin. Best wishes, and thank you all for making my Cushing dream come true.
Thank you, Danny. And thank you to Danny's parents, far away. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas.
Dr. Carlisle.
Tinjay Bob Zeng, Class Marshal, Ideal Cushing Boy, and Salutatorian for the class of 2014. Leana Salah Al-Azaz. Amir Alamkulov. Andrea Anachich. Adam Xavier Augusta. Ryan L. Bajali. William Sutherland Beaches. Giulio Bercellesi. Mackenzie Michael Bernard. Nicole Gabrielle Besson. Jonathan Albert Bianchi. Rachel Cross Blatz. Lara Liv Blom. Christopher Sean Bolish. Christine Lee Benetti. Richard Stephen Boyd. Chow Bui. William Robert Carney. Laura Michelle Caves. Michael Carl Caves. Cyrus Chan. Cheng An Chang. Kevin Chen. Cece Chen. Jeremy Chikaluba. Emma Burnett Chin Lin. Jordan Thomas Como. Luis Miguel de Gama Rodriguez. Luke Connor Daniels. Valerie Ellen Dayton. Thomas J. DeFelice. Poob Dorji. Damian Howard Dunn. Gabrielle E. Dutil, Ideal Cushing Girl. Javier Falcon Navarro. Andrew Hyde Fitzgerald. Donovan Jane Foote. Kelton Dion Force. Mallory Ryan Fredericks. Keely Jean Frost, Senior Class Treasurer. Benjamin Warren Fuller. Paul Gao. Taylor Ann Gatan. Maxwell Owen Grafton, Student Body President. Taylor Susan Green, Senior Class Secretary. Cynthia Hamidi. Q Sung Han. Malcolm Xavier Hayes. Devin James Hemian. Natalie Sophie Hillman. Jung Mo Hong. Matthew Vincent Hoover. Chin Chin Taylor Huang. Aiden P. Hutsko. Yeji Im. Erin Kelly Joyce. Yunju Nancy Zhang. Juan Arturo Calaf Montez. Daniel Austin Kelly. Sean Sungyoung Kim. Young Ah Kim. Samuel Henry Colley. Byungjun Lee. Chilin Jenny Lee. Cushing Lee. Suji Lee. Ethan Abrams Leff. Connie Leong. Essen Lee. Vanessa Yun Jun Lim. Stephanie Elizabeth Martin. Liam Xavier McCarthy. Nadsmi Nizam. Akeem Tsmambu Mpofu. Cameron Michael Muchler. Oliver Nino. Nathan Norton. Tamara Novich. Nolan Robert O'Connor. Shayla Kian O'Connor. Ikene Dele Chukwu John Ojukwu. Nolan Wakefield O'Neill. Alexander Anthony Cugini O'Neill. Jennifer Elizabeth O'Neill. Laura Queenan O'Neill. Valerie Izinwa Oti. Donovan Antonio Park. Youngjohn Park. David Pena. Aaron Pengaroth. Raphael Pessa Kirsch. George William Peters I. Hannah Pfeffer. Ravina Pitchasing. Michael Frederick Powers. Spencer James Ralston. Maria Reyes. Graf Richards. Luis Manuel Rodriguez da Gama. Alexandra Romanova. Eric Robert Valdemar Ride. Clayton Wesley Sandage. Luke Henry Sandbank. Thomas Ayers Schelling, Jr. Amelia Claire Schneider. Michael Simonetta. Nicholas Alexander Sorokin. Jackson Steele. Carlton Steer. Manuel Sucre Carrasquero. Idris Taki. Patrick Stefan Tawil. Michelle Emily Tierney, Senior Class President. Pranjal Tiwari. Kayan Mimi To. Aaron Milton Todd. Dexter A. Turner. Danny Wong, valedictorian for the class of 2014. Jidong Wang. Mariah Lee Weintraub. Todd Harrington Wetzel, Jr. Alford Lloyd White III. Andrew Ryan Wilson. Stephen Ciro Wint. Matthew R. Woolrath. Austin Charles Wood. Yasin Zanakis. Dennis T. Yarsavat. Genuine Jack Yuan. Wacy Agnes Zhang.
Class of 2014, will you please stand? I present to you the Cushing Academy class of 2014. You're looking for hats. Okay. Now, one more point of order before we finish our exercises. In a moment, we'll join together in singing the Cushing Alma Mater, which is printed in your program. First, I want to explain how we will conduct the recessional, and I get to read the if no rain directions. After we sing the Alma Mater, the faculty will lead our graduates in the recessional and proceed to senior walkway, where they will congratulate the senior class in our traditional handshake. After the senior handshake, I invite guests to enjoy lunch in our dining hall. Thank you so much for attending this year's graduation ceremony. And now, please rise and join me in singing our alma mater.
Thank you.